such a vibrant group joining us this evening, including from organizations such as Bristol Myers Squibb, Microsoft, Deloitte, Optum, JP Morgan, Novartis, Amazon, Goldman Sachs, Salesforce, Medtronic, Sanofi, and more. The current session is on the theme of unleashing the power of AI in healthcare. Today, we embark on an exciting journey into the world of artificial intelligence and its transformative impact on the healthcare industry. We are continuing the series of such events that would ultimately enable and strengthen a community dedicated toward learning, sharing, and empowering women in technology. As we all know, the intersection of technology and medicine has given rise to a new era of healthcare. The integration of artificial intelligence promised to revolutionize diagnostics, treatment, patient care, and administrative processes. Today, we have gathered some of the brightest minds in the healthcare and AI domains to shed lights on this burgeoning field. herDIGITALstory is an initiative by Cigniti as we continue to work towards our commitment to build a diverse and equitable tech ecosystem. To unveil more about the concept of herDIGITALstory, I would like to invite brand custodian of Cigniti, who has played key role in shaping our brand identity and values. Please welcome our Chief Marketing Officer, Mr. Sairam Vedam.
Good evening, everyone. At the outset, first and foremost, thanks, Tanya, for calling me here. I would like to welcome all the esteemed leaders who are here, and also we have the leader from NASCOM. Thanks for coming in here. On behalf of Cigniti Technologies, why don't we just give a round of clap and applause. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of my fellow leaders, Nanda and Karan, from our leadership, along with Urmila. Thanks. I'll just take 5 minutes. This is something very dear and close to our heart. The of Cigniti Technologies, our vision is to help build a better future through technology-led transformation. And we believe anything that is digital, right? That's the modern word, so to wear. But healthcare is something that, as a company, even from a corporate social responsibility standpoint, we do a lot of work in the capacity that we could, either equipping state-of-the-art infrastructure at hospitals. Very recently, we did something that actually funds medical education for deserving students through a very large NGO. So coming back to this, this is an initiative that actually came to us. The roots of it, goes back to a company Round Square that actually we acquired, and Sirisha is there. Now, Round Square is a proud part of Cigniti family now. It's part of our digital engineering. And we are a born quality assurance, digital assurance, software testing company. In the last 12 odd years, we've sort of trailblazed this whole thing. 700 odd enterprises trust us. Today, 200 plus Fortune 500 companies work with us. But the future for we be very, very responsible that we think to embrace a thought where it's about conversations to embrace tomorrow, as herDIGITALstory says. And there's just not any better method than this to sort of invite, discuss, learn, and share from a fantastic constellation of women leaders. And that comes right from our founders' vision, our chairman's and our CEO's vision to have celebrate, recognize, acknowledge the indomitable spirit of the most gifted people on the planet. So we are here to learn and share from each other. And just to give a little dimension, the first edition of this, I think we delved into intricacies of large language models. And today I think it's even exciting topic when predictive, prescriptive, hyper-personalized, tech-led healthcare is the order of the day. And I couldn't have asked for a better set of speakers than this. My weakness, this entire company knows, is to continue to talk. So I'm going to stop myself and welcome all of you. And thanks, sir, for also being here. And I hope we'll all have an enthralling session. Maybe just play the herDIGITALstory video once before we take it further.
Sheryl Sandberg says, no industry or country can reach its full potential until women reach their full potential. This is especially true of science and technology, where women with a surplus of talent still face a deficit of opportunity. Technology has always been shaped by women. From the early days of computing, when women made up a significant portion of the workforce, to the present, where women continue to push the boundaries of what is possible. Whether you dig into history or look around today, the industry is only wealthier with women. herDIGITALstory is a community of practice where women passionate about emerging technologies can come together to connect, collaborate, and grow. Our mission is to inspire and empower women to pursue their passions and become leaders in fields like AI, ML, data, and blockchain. This community aims to be a powerful force that drives conversations forward with stories. We will unlock new perspectives and insights to help us better understand the challenges and opportunities. By empowering and amplifying the voices of women in tech, we can drive meaningful change and inspire the next generation of innovators as we uncover new solutions that can transform the world around us. Come together and harness the power of this community to create a more inclusive, diverse, and equitable tech industry, to use our voices and our stories to challenge the status quo, push the boundaries of what is possible, and shape the future of technology for the better. Join us and share your digital story.
Initiative of how brand Cigniti is committed to this wonderful mission. To take the session forward, I would like to now invite Sirisha Payati. She is the Senior Vice President of Digital Engineering Services at Cigniti. Sirisha is a business leader with nearly 20 years of experience in the IT service industry. Her expertise lies in solution consulting with a strong focus on digital thinking and customer empathy across multiple domains. Like this, I'm for a minute worried if it's me or somebody else. I do have 20 years of experience, but I think one of the nicer aspects of it is being there in the industry and seeing how it's grown and how it's changed. Not so tech evolved, I guess. I still have a piece of paper that I want to use to kind of keep track of what I wanted to say, but this is truly an honor. Again, when we started, like Sairam alluded to, when we started this initiative at Town Square, it was a very, very small community. We just wanted our employees to have visibility to what's happening in the industry. And we wanted this to be a very, very informal meetup sort of an event. It continues to be that and a lot more today. We couldn't have been able to attract the kind of speakers that are sitting here today at that point in time. So I'm really, really glad that this initiative's taken the shape. This is the second edition of our digital story. Yeah, we had a very interesting session the previous time around. And that was on large language models. And we had people come in and talk to us. And at that point in time, it was still very, very new, right? People were still figuring out what LLM is, just because, that meeting actually helped us to understand that LLMs are beyond ChatGPT. Yeah, so that was the big takeaway from that conversation. Today, it's a lot more interesting because we have someone who's a doctor who's in the field. We keep talking about tech impacting industries, impacting domains and all of that. How often do we actually see the impact that it is being, that it is creating, right? So if we have someone from the community come and talk to us and say, this is what we deal with on a day-to-day basis, that's going to be a lot more interesting perspective than going on and on about tech, I guess. So, Dr. Jayalatha ma'am, thank you so much. It's an honor to have you here. She is a director at MNJ Cancer Hospital, a renowned radiologist, but more importantly, a tech enthusiast, which is possibly one of the reasons why she's come out of her comfort zone to hear a lot of people talk about tech today. But thank you, ma'am. Really, truly honored to have you here. If you could say a few words and inspire all of us here, that would be really, really nice.
Thank you all. Good evening. I didn't think that it is so much elaborative crowd and high-tech crowd over here. I just came extempo and saying that I would talk about my story, how I became a director and a hospital as a woman, my challenges day to day which I face it. But it's all a different platform here. Now I can find myself to a digital imaging and also AI and machine learning. All these are new terminology for us. Though as radiologists, I do come across because we day to day we deal with machine learning, AI, especially when early in life, when I became a first resident in my Usmania Medical College, the CAD detected lung nodules have come up with CT scan as an event. So CT scan was evolving those days. The CT is nothing but you all know the cross-sectional imaging which we do for diagnosing lesions. At that time, suddenly they said CAD detected lesions. CAD is nothing but a computerized aided detection of lung nodules. It was new for us, and that was the only term which made us attract towards that missionary, which was exclusively having that component. So we went ahead for that and we purchased, which was with a high cost. And that turned out to be, I think I remember I discussed these things with one of your Sairam and the rest of the staff who had come to us. That was the nodules, which were less than 5 to 1 mm, which are detected through computerized in a lung, which are supposed to be diagnosed as a metastatic nodule in a already diagnosed case of lung. But that was giving us, though we were taking the aid of that, but that was giving a false identity. I mean, the nodules, which are end arteries and some other naturally present normal anatomy. Then I was little taken away. So many nodules which we never diagnosed earlier, and unless it is 1 centimeter and above, usually we don't give so much importance. But suddenly, all the cases were diagnosed as metastatic lung disease because of these CAD detected nodules. Then I discussed with some of our colleagues and also the technologists who come to repair our machine and attend our technical aspects. Then they said, yes ma'am, this is a positive outfit. So we come and we go back and then work on it. So later on, so many inventions have come up. The artificial intelligence and especially because I'm working in a cancer backup, we are very much investing on detection of early malignancies. That is the only way to keep these days, especially the individuals like you who are evolved and involved in the tech jobs, those who doesn't give any 5 minutes or half an hour of your time in an entire year, those are coming out with an early malignancy which are undetected, are going unnoticed. And for this, for your the AI is giving us a best solution in detecting undetected nodules and hidden nodules, especially in breast where AI-based reading is happening because there are less number of radiologists, less number of pathologists who are present to diagnose the lesion per se. So where AI is used and those, the normally unnoticed lesions are, though they are false positive, false negative presence are there, but still it is coming to our notice, it is being noticed, it is being diagnosed further ahead with further testing, and at least 50% of them are again re-diagnosing as not present. That's a huge reformation in health aspects, I say. And apart from this, the AI-based technologies like robotic surgery and other, especially the cancer dissection and cancer per se, AI is used very much. And as a radiologist, actually it is threatening us as a radiologist. Our jobs are threatened. Now earlier, it used to be diagnosing a mammography and diagnosing an ultrasound. A radiologist given a higher post, high paid, because of these smaller things which are happening. But your machine learning and all is taking away our jobs, detecting all these lesions in much early way, and then but in the other side of the coin, many things are detected, many things which are unnoticed, which used to present in an advanced cases where we not able to do anything, are presenting in an early case, giving us a hope that it can be treated, it can be prevented, everything can be done in a organized way, everything can be taken up initially by whatever machine learning or AI technology and come to the next level of diagnosis. And so much of help happening to the women these days, especially the women who are multifaceted, multi-targeted, all multi-diagnosed. So those don't have time, especially I see in our own profession and also in educated profession who come day in and day out to us. Usually they come with a push with somebody or they don't come especially at all. Even if you include your incentives in your salary-based incentives, if your yearly checkup is done, if they come out with the checkup, that is usually in European countries and all, they tie it with for their salary. Their medical sheet should be concerned with along with this thing. Unless and otherwise your medical routine checkups are done, unless that is teamed up with your this thing, your incentives are not added up. At least with that scary thing, then people get checked up, people go for a screening, early detection, and they come out with lesions in an early. Here in India, that sort of culture is not there. Actually, even in educated people, I see in my own, the other day I have seen one of the doctor coming in an advanced case, unnoticed. And when it comes to their family, their own children, their husband, and when it comes to their own self, it is the least importance. As that is the main advice which I wanted to give on this platform to you. Apart from your routine, your jobs and hectic schedule, which you name it, but please give at least 15 to 20 minutes of your time for your own self. Give a reassurance and then go for a routine checkup. And these small things like your menstrual deformity or alterations, I don't call it deformities. These things also should be given importance apart from your routine life, because these are the things which are taking away our health and wealth and ultimately landing up in the problems. And as a director of the hospital, I face so much of challenge. In spite of being a radiologist, a professor for so many, a PG teacher and a researcher, in spite of all that, there's so much of competition, so much of the differences in the department and outside the department. But still, if you're strong, if you're healthy in mind, if you're positive in attitude, I think sky is the limit. The same advice which I wanted to give it to all youngsters over here, and then all the patterns of life. We are coming out with so much of technology. But I also advise you to a post-COVID era, which we call it as AI, and your technologies has helped us a lot in segregation, in treatment aspects, in detection, in simplifying the methods of triage and the treatment aspect of it, especially the post-COVID era, which I would call it, has helped us a lot and also forced us to learn these things. Usually we don't know, we are not attached to all these. It has forced us, it has made us challenging, because unless you know these aspects, you're not supposed to, these technologies and all, the pattern of the performer has changed altogether. So unless you uplift or upgrade yourself, it's going to be difficult. As I said, as a radiologist, it is a threat. And even now, the other day, we are doing a trial on a pathology. Screening for village women every now and then, every alternate day, our team, along with the inbuilt technology in the bus, which is again helping us, the mammography, inbuilt pathology screening within the bus, ultrasound abdomen, and also oral examination, where technology is helping us to detect, to denote, and define which type of lesion. We are going into the doorsteps of the villages. We are going to the door and the primary health centers. We are making mass screening. And in this mass screen, if you see, one individual can do up to 100 or 150 patients in a day. But if you want to screen 500 and 1,000 patients on that particular, because we are taking all the technology, That is where the primary requirement, we need a technology. That is where the primary requirement of the technology is necessary, and where you can screen a mass of 500 and 1,000 at one go. If the slides are given, the pathologist yesterday was discussing with me, if we buy that technology, it has already come up in the usage, where all the slides are screened and only the positive cells which are present are segregated out, and that can, the pathologist can see only those 10 selected slides and give a diagnosis on that, saying that this particular lady has primary initial stages of whatever pathology or malignancy in it. That is the large scale difference which is making technology there. See, you are cutting down the hands, but at the same time you are the usage to the community, especially the public health, especially the needy people, where unless the technology is used by the needy, it is not given so much of importance, I think, in my profession or in your profession. So it is giving a solution to us, where one person, we are restricting ourselves to screen only 100 to 150 because our gang is only 10 to 12 people. We have one radiologist, one pathologist, one a technician, and one nurse with us. So if this technology is added up, we can screen 1,000 at one glance and then segregate the people and cut down the numbers and only treat the needy ones. So this is the help which we are getting. And I would think and then aspire in future, so many of such solutions come up which are used by the public, which are used by the society. If it making such a difference to the society, it's really a wonder, and it's a success of the technology, which is not confined to the four walls. It's going to the periphery, it's going to the utility service where it is used by. And again, I thank Cigniti and their group. They've helped us in establishing a ICU setup in our hospital, and that ICU with an inbuilt ultrasound at bedside and also the monitors, which is being used by the needy people. Since ours is a government hospital, which we, it's a state level cancer institute, though we have all high-end equipment, but some of the gaps which are still there has to be completed by a philanthropist or a work group of such a large scale, which come up and help one another. Unless that happens, we cannot make a solution or find a solution to the problem. This is what I really appreciate, with no intention of any other thing. They've just come up with a social activity. They were all there to inaugurate, and they felt so happy looking at the patients, being happy about looking at all the equipment, and we dedicated one entire room with an ICU setup exclusively dedicated to the Cigniti and their group. Really, I thank Sairam and rest of the people. It is actually one of the patients also wants to share her experience of usage and all, which I pass it on to you. I'll give her number. You can directly talk. Like that, 3 or 4 people who want to share their things. And on as this platform, I want to make use and then tell everyone, please come out of your zone and then come out, look at a larger scale, think at a larger scale, where things are used for, at the end of the day, it should make a difference in a life, and also used by a larger society and also the public health, which is really making a lot of a difference. And again, I, as a women employees, you are all, majority of them, please give importance also to your health and also to a small part of your life to come out of your zone, give some time to your health and also to the extracurricular relaxations. And also the other activities, please also do give importance and look at, unless we are, depends upon the women health. So please do take care. Any suggestions, any help, we are always there. Take care. Any suggestions, any help, we are always there at your this thing, because we get so many of them, so many other problems. I just don't want to scare you. Infertility problems, so many other routine problems. So they do occur because it's all a matter of an hormonal changes which are happening due to stress or due to other work stress or other stresses, please take yourself light and also focus on your health too. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And as I said, Nikki has told me to be myself and be not to the AI or whatever it is. I thought I'll just talk about a few things which are important in life. Again, thank Cigniti and their entire group, and also encourage them to come forward, step out of your field, think large. Thank you.
I just wanted to acknowledge the vision of our founder, Mr. C.V. Subramaniam, and our CEO, Shrikant. I think it is their vision and their thought process allows us to come and do this sort of activities with the hospital. So I think a round of applause to our founder's vision. That's more important.
This is what I was saying. Again, rest of the world probably is a little far ahead when compared to India, and when it comes to having a visibility across the spectrum. Right? So we are all generally confined to what we are studying, where we are working, the society that we live in, the compound that we live within. We don't step out, we don't share knowledge, and we don't actually look at the larger picture. Maybe things are changing and changing for good. The fact that in an IT session focused on AI, we have a doctor speaking, speaks for itself. So, and the problems haven't changed, ma'am. Everything that you mentioned, CT scan, the false positives, those are still there. So that's exactly the reason why we need collaboration. That's exactly why we need to understand what we're doing. And again, we ourselves as Cigniti, from a tech point of view, we worked with one of the hospitals in Hyderabad, and we built an AI algorithm that will help detect chronic venous insufficiency. Again, a standard problem, often neglected. There is no real reason, rhyme or reason for when it will come and what the progression of the disease is. So we've been able to put together an AI model that assists with early detection again.
We are here to help you all to give a model or give a pictures or give a mammograms. You can arrive at our algorithm where it can solve our problems. And then here as a hospital and then material, you get huge. Because being a state cancer hospital, the material and the patients which we get, the feedback which we have is a huge. People like you should come forward and make a collaborative workup and then start giving us solutions.
Absolutely. Again, that's the other important point. All AI models are only as good as the data that we have. So yeah, that's the other thing that's again, hopefully changing for good in India. At one point in time, I don't think we had a lot of open data sets to work on. Even today, if you want to go ahead and do voice, text to voice, or voice to text, or text to speech, or even images for that matter, you typically have Caucasian faces. You wouldn't have a lot of Indian faces there. Right? So things are changing, hopefully with the support of institutions like what Madam was talking about, or organizations. And maybe when you talk to universities, you can bring up that point, Vani, about collaboration, open data sets creation and stuff like that. So it's always an interesting influx of technologies and capabilities, I guess. And on a lighter note, ma'am, my brother is a radiologist too, in Continental. We constantly have this conversation around radiologists being threatened. So I tell him that I am a pseudo doctor now. so yeah, it's not so much about threatening. I guess it's more to do, like ma'am mentioned, assisting and creating speed in the overall process, right? So as much as possible, if you can bring, it will absolutely have impact at scale. So yeah, very, very thrilled to be a part of such conversations.